Hey guys, Jan here in the Northview Model Shop, and we have scammed the Northview Model Shop dishwashing basin to show you a little trick, not more to trick, just the kind of how we do it here in the shop, and that is color sanding. Now guys, there's many different techniques and theories here. Some guys do not sand for color sanding, they just let it go, do it in a clear sanding. Some guys also take raw styrene body and they work the sand as well. But we are in a stage right now in a project where we need to do a little bit of color sanding. There's a little bit of flaw in the paint. We want to see if we can wet sand it out. Wet sanding is exactly what it sounds like. Piece of wet dry sandpaper. This is a 600 grit, commonly found at any auto parts store. You can get, let's see, there's 6, 12, 15, and I believe 2,000. It's common in the trade, very cheap. Great stuff to have, especially 600. That does a lot of cutting for you when you're in the raw stage. And then we have the we got these from Micro Markets, the Micro Mesh polishing kit, and it goes from 2,400 up to 12,000. And we've done a video on this kit before, so check the archives for that. So we're going to do a little bit of color sanding, and what we have is this is the Model Car World Merca Blue. Now this is a couple coats on there. So what I want to do, and we're going to do this on the spoon first because this is the first time running through with this model paint line, but it's essentially the same for everything. So always do a little test. We're going to start with the 2400. Now guys, what I like to do is I get this wet. We're going to try this on the body, but this is just for demo purposes. Get the spoon or your piece of styrene wet, and you'll see what's going on. And then we take your favorite soap, be it Sunlight, Dawn, No Name, whatever, and I give a little dab on there. That's plenty for the size of the spoon. I usually give it a little work in, and then I go here and I grab in for my 2400. And then we've got lukewarm water in here. I find this is easier. A lot of people sit over the sink and do this, and that's great, but in this day and age with conservation of water and all that other nonsense, I've been working with the basin, which is great because we can work down here on the bench. We can work out on the couch watching TV with the missus. There's all kinds of different techniques. So soap on there, which that soap on there gives a little bit of sheen. That's a beautiful color, guys. This paint is awesome. Get the cloth nice and wet with very, very little pressure, guys. Just sort of start working the area. Now there's some different techniques that guys like to use for this as well. If you read the instructions on the kit, it tells you to sand at an angle with paper X. Then you go to the next color, the next stage, and they want you to go 90 degrees to that. And it's to keep the hash marks, I guess, all lined up. Now, I'm thinking that's probably really true in the 1-to-1 scale, but with 24 scale, so that's probably not a big deal. Now, guys, this is hard to explain without having a microphone right here, but you'll hear a sound. So this is very common when you're working with raw styrene, working with up with 600, you hear a and as you're sanding it down, you eventually that turns into a and then I find when you hear that sound, you know you've cut down to smooth, really smooth. This is very common when you're doing raw styrene. Now with color sanding, you start hearing a lot of rough noises. Oh, she's probably not going to go good for you after that. So it's a feel thing. So I move up to the 4000 still. We got a bit of soap on here. Just giving it a little buzz. Now that noise I was telling you before, that cutting sound, that's gone. I don't have any of it now. Go up to a little 6. Still same deal. No real pressure, just kind of working the circular motion. Going to 8. Oh, it's as smooth as glass now, right? And up to 12,000. And there we go. There we have it, guys. And that is just beautiful. Now we give it a little rinse. And there we have it. Now, you'll find, I believe, anyway, in my experience, you'll find when this goes and dries out and you have it sit out, you're going to notice it's kind of hazy. And oh, what happened, right? I find, though, guys, once you start throwing clear on it, that clear has nothing but shine to go after it. So that is the experiment with a spoon. Now, you see, we did this with a spoon. Now I know what to expect when I move on to our 41 Willis. Now, there's a few little flaws in this. They're not major. This hood actually is beautiful. I don't have anything on it, but we're going to give a little buff to it. And this here, moving it in the spray booth, I wasn't smart enough to clean my booth out really thoroughly. And got a couple cobwebs. I got one right here, which is the worst. And had a little drag mark down here. This one, once we pulled the cobweb out, very faint. Never probably see it. This one, unfortunately, you can really see it. So we're going to kind of play this by kind of the way I would do it if we were going to do a full color sanding job. Get the car good and wet. Now guys, when I sand, this is how I work. Driver's side, passenger side, front, back, hood. Now guys, this is the method I use because you get sanding and then you forget where did I start and where did I end. And you guys, you always want to start and end, and you want to make sure that you do, if you're doing 24 here, you're doing 24, 24, 24. You're not like 24, 24, 24. Did I do this side? I better do it again, 24, 24, 20. This side has more sanding onto it, and you can run a risk of burning paint. So, same deal. I put a little dab of soap on there, which that is a lot, but you get it, work it all over the place, right? Get the body all kind of soaped up. And like I said, once again, guys, this is my method. I'm not saying this is the absolute gospel, but it does work well for me. Take this method and modify it to fit your particular needs. So, 2400, giving it a little buzz. Now, I see we can hear that just kind of cutting noise. You know, we've got a little bit of roughness. Now, guys, work flat panels. This here, this line, don't go anywhere near that. Don't put any pressure on it. Just stay away from it. Paint there could be extremely thin. You don't want to burn through that at all. Same with my hinges here. You just want to work the large surfaces. So you see, I'm working driver's side first. Get the cloth a little rinse. Go right over to passenger side. Get those passenger side fenders. Alright, now I'm going to move up to my front. Now, the thing I love about the Willys here is just a beautiful body to work with. Super simple to paint. Just a fun, beautiful car to work with. So I got the front, now I'm going to head to the back. Now here's where I had to do some work because of that goober in the paint. So we'll work this a little more than we would the other side, but still being cautious of where and how we are working it. Through here, and the hood. Now the roof. Now the roof is a big one, guys, because that roof will be what people's eyes are going to catch. So if any imperfections at all, you want to get them cleaned up and out of your paint. So move it down in here again. Now I see my problem area right here, giving it a bit more of a little more work than I would anywhere else. There we go. She's being a little stubborn, which makes me nervous. I will not lie, a little nervous, trying to buff that a little more than I want, but this paint is a resilient paint, so we should be good. Alright guys, and with that, that body is ready to go. Now I'll give this a little kind of bounce and a little roll here in the bucket, but there you have it. Work up some more grades there if need be, but at this point, go upstairs now in the against this or over the sink. Give this a good wash down. Get all that color or that water and soap off there. Let this dry out thoroughly, and you're ready to move on to the next step. Same thing. We'll work the hood as well to match it, but you guys don't want to see me run up through all the colors. But guys, simple as that. Kind of make a routine. Left, driver's side, passenger side, front, back, hood. You'll be spot on every time. Little pressure. Work easy. Work as you need to get through that, and you will have a beautiful color sand every single time. Alright guys, if you like what you see here, make sure you subscribe, rate, comment, the whole 9 yards, and make sure guys, if you're not already, get over to the Northview Model Shop Facebook group and join in over there, having fun, communicating with other modelers. Alright guys, adios.